Target released a statement on their website today telling customers someone had unauthorized access to Target payment card data between November 27th and December 15th of this year. Target has frustrated customers with their reaction to this crisis, but you can take steps on your own to keep your credit and your identity safe. When Target announced their stores had been hacked, they instructed customers who would use their Target Red Cards to sign into their account to check for fraudulent purchases. But the site has been down, and when you call the customer service line, there is no one there to help. But if you used a credit or debit card from your bank, Stephen Quisenberry, Chief Technological and Security Officer at First Bank and Trust in Lubbock, says they are watching their clients' accounts carefully, and customers can also file complaints.
We'd like our customers to just keep an eye on their accounts through their online banking channels and mobile app channels. If they see any unauthorized transactions, we need them to go ahead and call the bank as soon as possible so we can get their debit card canceled and reissued.
Quisenberry says the hackers aren't using your information to buy. Instead, they took it to sell.
They go to one of these online auction sites. These are usually black market sites, and they take blocks of like 1,000 or 5,000 credit card numbers or debit card numbers, and they auction those off to other bad guys that are going to sell them.
Your money is at risk, but John Benton, owner of Super Geeks in Lubbock, says you should also be concerned with identity theft.
The breach, they got names, addresses, the credit card numbers, the security codes on the back of the credit cards, and in a lot of cases that's enough to steal somebody's identity or open another account in their name.
The companies Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion have free online identity theft protection for people whose information has potentially been stolen.
It'll email you a report, once a month saying no new activity, and also if somebody does during a fraud alert try to open up an account in your name, they will actually call you before that account is opened just to verify it.
These hackers have the potential to use your information at any time, so Benton warns you to keep a close eye on your bank statements and credit score every month, even if you think you're in the clear.
That could happen in the next month, it could happen next year, so it needs to be a continuous thing. Even though this is bad and it happened right now, people need to continue to follow these best practices.
Allison, we're here at 512 Iola in Northwest Lubbock, where you can see there is a house that caught fire early this morning. It's about 4:45 when the flames started on this home. The fire was put out by firefighters, but then restarted again and again throughout the morning. It's been about an hour, and it looks like they've gotten those flames completely down. Firefighters have busted in the door. It doesn't appear that anyone is inside the home, but the fire will have to be completely put out and everything cleared out before they can start their investigation. Back to you.
Alström syndrome is one of the rarest diseases in the world. There have only been, well, as of today, less than 900 cases documented in medical history.
Alström syndrome is a genetic disease that affects every part of the body and can cause complete blindness, deafness, type 2 diabetes, and many other complications. Bryce Johnston was diagnosed with Alström syndrome when she was 3, and her parents consider themselves lucky.
Catching it at 3, like we did with Bryce, has put us on the correct path where most of these kids don't get diagnosed till they're 14 or 16 years old.
Yeah, by that time a lot of the medical complications have already presented, and we lose a lot of kids before ever even getting diagnosed.
Because Alström syndrome is so rare, less than $100,000 is dedicated to research and treatments for children each year. The Johnstons felt this wasn't enough, and so they began their yearly Alström Angels Benefit Dinner.
At our first benefit dinner, we netted over $41,000, and when we sent the check up to the lab to be used for testing, it's the largest check they've ever received for testing. We've been able to help test 68 children that were suspected of having the syndrome, and 60 families now have a confirmed diagnosis for their child.
The benefit has live music, food, and live and silent auctions.
Let's get this party started!
Since K-Mac first met Bryce a year ago, her eyesight has gotten worse and her liver is starting to give her trouble. But the Johnstons say she is as bubbly and outgoing as ever.
Excuse me.
She all of a sudden has never met a stranger, and is just loud, and she just hams it up.
And that big personality is what the Johnstons call the bright spot of Alström syndrome.
Although these kids are dealing with unimaginable medical complications, they are very, very smart, and they're witty and So of all the things that Alstrom syndrome takes from our kids, it leaves us with the best parts of them.
Well, with this cold snap coming in, the Salvation Army is going to be very busy today, but the South Plains Homeless Consortium is also doing a point-in-time count of the people living on the streets of Lubbock, getting an accurate count of those who do not have a home, and the Salvation Army has actually declared a state of emergency because of this cold, and will be doing a Survive the Night program this evening. I actually have Justin Etherly of the Salvation Army, and the homeless count that they're doing actually does have an effect on the Salvation Army. How is that?
That's right. So the Homeless Consortium has set up headquarters here right after breakfast, and they're going to go out and get a statistical analysis of the homeless situation here in Lubbock. Those numbers help us when receiving grants or state and city government funding to run our shelter, as well as disaster programs and anything else that we give back to the community. Those statistics also go to the homeless network here in Lubbock as well as nationwide, so we can analyze the homeless situation nationwide as well as right here in Lubbock.
And why have you declared this state of emergency? What gets that done?
Sure. So whenever temperatures reach 38 degrees by 6 o'clock, we set up emergency cots here at the Salvation Army. We are at capacity right now, but we want to allow people to be able to come here and have a warm place to stay at night. So whenever
the cold hits, that's
Sure,
what we send it
sure.
out.
So we're going out for Survive the Night tonight, and whenever temperatures reach 30 degrees or lower by 6 p.m., we activate that program, and we go out in a canteen with a warm meal and blankets, socks, scarves, and caps, and we try to reach the homeless people that migrate to certain areas. So today we're setting up a warming station here, and we're the only warming station on the South Plains, and we're going to be going out as well tonight to try to find people and help them survive the night. But anyone can come back here and stay on the emergency cots that we set up during the freezing temperatures.
And is there a limit for how many nights they can stay here? I know that you have, sort of permanent residents,
Sure.
But how many nights can they stay?
Until weather conditions improve, but we always have rooms open up. People can always work with our social service director and our social workers to see how long they can stay here and what the situation is whenever rooms do open up when we're not at capacity.
All right, thank you, Justin. And that canteen for Survive the Night is going to leave from the Salvation Army tonight at 6 p.m. again, handing out blankets, handing out jackets, things to keep people warm if they decide not to come back and stay at the Salvation Army. Also, a warm meal to try and help people get through the night. Back to you. Polka Dot Alley started out selling monogram towels and towel wraps, different things online. They moved on to women's clothing in 2007, selling it on Facebook. Now they're opening up a store that has candles, soaps, a lot of different things, pretty much everything a woman could want. The Polka Dot Alley has been selling merchandise online since 2007, but now owner Ashley White says it's time for her company to expand with a storefront in Lubbock.
We just really wanted to kind of establish better relationships with our customers here in town, and we feel like this is a good way to do it, and we can see their faces, and they can still go shop on Facebook, but then also shop in the store, and I think hopefully it'll all come together.
The PolkaDotAlley.com sells mostly women's clothing, but the store in Lubbock will have a wider range of products.
Now that we have the ability to sell things that I personally love as well on top of clothing, we decided to go for it. So we have great candle lines, bath and body, we have decorations, we have kids, gifts, all sorts of things. Anything you can think of, pretty much.
There will also be exclusive items in store that you can't get online.
We really want to have some things that are, VIP kind of for our Lubbock customers only, and there will be some things that you can still get in both places.
There are many different brands in the store, but a special Give Back corner only stocks items that donate part of their proceeds to people in need.
You know about Tom's, you maybe know about the Lily and Laura bracelets, but there are so many others. We'll have the Jewwear clothing line, we'll have those jewelry lines that when you buy something, a percentage of what you're spending actually goes to a worthy cause.
White says anyone can find something they like and can afford at Polka Dot Alley.
We have things that can range from $15 all the way up to $200. Honestly, I think any budget, you could still come in here and find things that you love.
and the grand opening of the Polka Dot Alley is this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. It's at 50th and Salem. There is some construction going on out in front, but don't worry, it is open. There will be snacks, water. You'll also get 10% off everything you find in the store. They have some really cute clothes in here. I know that I picked out an outfit for Kristen, so don't worry, Allison. I also picked out something for you. I found this really pretty green dress. I think it'll look great on you on the anchor desk. They have a lot of different styles, a lot of different choices. So coming out on Saturday, check it out. Back to you.
I like it. Thanks for thinking of me, Christian.